Somewhere between Aztlán and the future Tenochtitlan, in the valley of Anahuac, there was an intermediate place where the house of Huitzilopochtli mother, Coatlicue, was located. She, the one with the serpent skirt, is none other than Mother Earth herself. In that place stood her home, which was a hill called Coatepec, or Hill of the Serpents. At its peak, she lived sweeping the top of the hill every day, until one day she became miraculously pregnant by a theft of feathers, and her son Huitzilopochtli was born fully grown as a man. He immediately killed his sister, the moon, and his 400 brothers, the countless stars of the south. He then left his mother behind and hid in the Mexica until they found the eagle on the lake. But did Coatlicue's house really exist? And where will it be? There are many references and graphic representations of this hill called Coatepec. Some mention the battle that took place there, while others say nothing. But during the migration, not even the Mexica, now settled in Tenochtitlan, remembered if this place truly existed. In fact, once they freed themselves from Tepanec rule, Moctezuma y Luicamina and Tlacaelel sent an expedition to search for Aztlán. And of course, they will have to pass through Coatepec, but they didn't get far, only reaching just beyond what is now the archaeological zone of Tula. At the time following Tlacaelel's advice, they didn't see warriors, but priests, since it wasn't a military conquest. Still, their arrival injured the Otomi groups in the region, and in the end, they never found Aztlán. Yet the belief in these real or imagined places persists even after the arrival of the Spanish, and continues to this day. In modern times, efforts have been renewed to discover whether the migration sites of the Mexica, including Coatepec, truly exist. And here's what we know so far. Chronicles suggest that Coatepec, Coatlicue's house, may indeed have existed. One clue comes from various chronicles that state Coatepec was near ancient Tula, or rather, Tolan in Nahuatl, to the south, as seen in the Migration Codex. Some believed this mythical place was in Otomi territory, through which the Mexica was passed. There are even doubts today about whether what we call Tula is the real Tolan, or if it was Teotihuacan. The Tolan, referred by the Mexica, lies about an hour and 26 minutes by car to the north, where a hill known as El Cerrito del Astillero or Cerro del Hualtepec is found. Several theories suggest this could have been Coatlicue's home, and that the name Hualtepec is a distortion of Coatepec, the hill of the serpent. To support this theory, locals claim that in certain seasons many snakes are found on the hill. Of course, this alone isn't enough to declare it the mythical Coatepec. But there are other pieces of evidence. At the top of the hills, despite past looting, remains of ancient temples have been found. For example, this serpent head, similar to the Xiuhcoatl, the weapon of Huitzilopochtli, has been discovered. There are also battlements with designs resembling many stone structures in Tenochtitlan. So yes, there were indeed shrines there, but we still don't know if they belonged to the Mexica or the Otomi. Other parallels to the legends says that after being born, Huitzilopochtli killed his sister, cutting her to pieces and rolling her body down the hill. Then he killed his brother in a place called Tlachoco and placed their skulls on a zompantli. Also at Coatepec, Huitzilopochtli supposedly ordered the construction of a dam. And interestingly, physical evidence at the site supports these supposed myths. At the highest peak, on the southern side, are remains of a 20-meter long rectangular base. The structure is connected by 400-meter long raft to the other peak, where there is another mount. Halfway up Coatepec Hill, there is a rocky outcrop known as Peña de la Luna, Rock of the Moon. This has sparked speculation that this outcrop is the severed head of Coyolxauhqui. While her body rolled down the hill in pieces. Even today, a dam exists here, as mentioned in the chronicles, along with remains of an even older one. There are other parallels too. Some believe that the shape of the hill, with its two peaks, may have inspired the design of the Templo Mayor in Tenochtitlan, and that these were, in fact, the Coatepec of Coatlicue, an environment recreated in Tenochtitlan. The southern side of the Templo Mayor represents Coatepec, belong to its wall a ball court where the hummingbird of the south fought his brother, and then the waits on Pantli where he placed their heads. And finally, as one last piece of possible evidence for this Coatepec, we have the town of Santa Maria Ameal in Chapatonco, Hidalgo, where a memory of a nervy Coatepec still exists. The church facade, you can see a glyph, a mountain with a serpent on top, the glyph of Coatepec. And so, this is the mythical Coatepec of Coatlicue. More research is needed, especially to recover archaeological evidence. But is it possible that this hill truly was the mythical home of the serpent-scared one?